Sacred geometry, often referred to as the language of the universe, has intrigued human beings for millennia. It is the study of geometric patterns and shapes that are believed to be woven into the fabric of the cosmos. These patterns are not arbitrary or random. Rather, they are viewed as expressions of divine intelligence, cosmic order, and spiritual principles. Through the ages, philosophers, mystics, artists, and scientists have found meaning in these shapes, using them to unlock the mysteries of existence and connect with the divine. In a world increasingly dominated by technology and the rational mind, sacred geometry offers a window into an older, more mystical understanding of reality, one where numbers and shapes serve as keys to the universe's blueprint. The recognition of sacred geometry's significance can be traced to some of the most ancient civilizations in human history. From the ancient Egyptians, who built the Great Pyramid of Giza using geometric precision, to the Greeks who delved into the relationship between numbers and forms, these patterns have been revered as carriers of cosmic wisdom. They appear in nature, art, architecture, and religious symbols across cultures, suggesting that sacred geometry is not confined to any single tradition, but rather transcends cultural and historical boundaries. In essence, it is a universal language. At the heart of sacred geometry is the notion that shapes, when arranged in particular ways, represent different aspects of the universe. Take, for example, the circle. With no beginning and no end, the circle represents eternity, infinity, and wholeness. It is the symbol of unity, of the cosmos itself. In Hinduism, the bindu, represented as a dot within a circle, symbolizes the point of creation, from which the entire universe emerges. In Christianity, the halo around saints' heads is often depicted as a circle, representing divine light and spiritual wholeness. The circle can be found in many of nature's most fundamental forms, from the shape of planets and stars to the structure of cells. Its ubiquity reflects its importance, symbolizing the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth. But sacred geometry does not stop with the circle. The triangle, square, hexagon, and other shapes each carry their own mystical significance. The triangle, for instance, often symbolizes balance, harmony, and the interplay of opposites. In alchemical and occult traditions, it is used to represent the elements of fire and air, which ascend toward the heavens, as well as water and earth, which point toward the material world. The upward-pointing triangle is commonly associated with the masculine principle, while the downward-pointing triangle represents the feminine. When combined, these opposing forces form a six-pointed star, or the Star of David, which embodies the balance between spiritual and material realms, heaven and earth, the divine and the human. The square, in turn, is often associated with stability, structure, and the material world. Many ancient temples and sacred spaces were designed with square foundations, symbolizing the solid, grounded nature of physical existence. In esoteric traditions, the square can represent the four elements: earth, water, air, and fire, or the four cardinal directions. Its very shape speaks of boundaries and containment, making it a symbol of the earthly plane and the human experience within the limitations of space and time. One of the most captivating aspects of sacred geometry is its presence in the natural world. Nature itself seems to operate according to geometric principles, as if the very code of life is written in shapes and patterns. The Fibonacci sequence, a series of numbers in which each number is the sum of the two preceding ones, is one such example. This sequence is found in the arrangement of leaves on a stem, the spirals of seashells, the pattern of sunflower seeds, and even in the proportions of the human body. When visualized, the Fibonacci sequence creates a spiral, a shape that appears over and over again in nature, from the structure of galaxies to the formation of hurricanes. This spiral, often referred to as the golden spiral, is intimately connected with the golden ratio, Pfeff, a mathematical proportion that has fascinated mathematicians and artists alike. Golden ratio, approximately 1.618, is considered the most aesthetically pleasing proportion and has been used in art, architecture, and design for centuries. But beyond its aesthetic appeal, the golden ratio holds deep mystical significance. It is seen as a reflection of the inherent harmony of the universe, a divine proportion that governs the structure of all things. As the ancient Greek philosopher Pythagoras famously said, "All is number," suggesting that the universe is built upon numerical relationships that reveal deeper truths about existence. Pythagoras, who lived in the 6th century BCE, is often regarded as one of the key figures in the development of sacred geometry. He believed that numbers were not merely abstract concepts, but had real, tangible qualities that could be experienced in the world. His study of the harmonic ratios of musical intervals, for example, revealed the relationship between sound and number. Pythagoras' discovery that musical harmony could be explained mathematically was revolutionary, demonstrating that the universe operates according to principles of order and proportion. In this sense, sacred geometry is not just about shapes, it is about the relationships between those shapes and the deeper truths they represent. The ancient Greeks were not the only ones to explore the spiritual implications of geometry. The ancient Egyptians too understood the power of sacred shapes. The Great Pyramid of Giza, for example, was constructed with such mathematical precision that its dimensions reflect key astronomical and geometric principles. The pyramid's height-to-base ratio approximates the golden ratio, and its alignment with the cardinal points suggests a deep understanding of the cosmos. For the Egyptians, the pyramid was not just a tomb, it was a sacred structure that reflected the harmony of the universe, connecting the earthly plane with the divine. In the mystical traditions of the East, sacred geometry also plays a crucial role. In Hinduism and Buddhism, mandalas, intricate geometric patterns, are used as tools for meditation and spiritual growth. These patterns, often circular in nature, represent the universe and the self, reflecting the belief that the macrocosm, the universe, and the microcosm, the individual, are interconnected. The act of creating and contemplating a mandala is a form of meditation, a way of aligning oneself with the cosmic order. The geometry of the mandala is not just visually striking, it is a spiritual map, guiding the practitioner toward a deeper understanding of the self and the universe. In more modern spiritual traditions, sacred geometry continues to hold great significance. The flower of life, a pattern composed of overlapping circles, is a particularly powerful symbol. Found in ancient art and architecture across cultures, the flower of life is believed to contain the patterns of creation itself. Some say that it holds the key to understanding the nature of reality, as it reflects the fundamental structures of space and time. The seed of life, which is derived from the flower of life, represents the 7 days of creation and the unfolding of the universe from a single point of origin. Metatron's cube is another sacred geometric figure that has captivated the imagination of spiritual seekers. Named after the archangel Metatron, this figure is composed of 13 circles connected by straight lines. Within it, one can find all 5 platonic solids, shapes that are the building blocks of all matter. In esoteric traditions, Metatron's cube is seen as a tool for understanding the nature of creation and the structure of the universe. It is believed to hold powerful energies that can help balance and align the physical, mental, and spiritual aspects of one's being. Sacred geometry is not just about understanding the universe, it is also about transformation. In many spiritual and occult traditions, geometric symbols are used to bring about personal and collective change. The pentagram, for example, is one of the most well-known symbols in occult practice. With its 5 points, the pentagram represents the 4 elements: earth, air, fire, and water, plus spirit, which unites and governs the material world. In magical rituals, the pentagram is often used to invoke or banish energies, symbolizing the practitioner's control over the elements and their connection to the spiritual realm. Ritual spaces, too, are often designed with sacred geometry in mind. The layout of a temple, the placement of an altar, or the arrangement of ritual objects can all be influenced by geometric principles. By aligning themselves with the sacred patterns of the universe, practitioners believe they can harness the energy of these forms to achieve spiritual goals. In some traditions, labyrinths, circular or spiral paths, are used for walking meditation, symbolizing the journey inward toward the center of one's being. The very act of moving through a geometric shape is seen as a way of aligning oneself with cosmic order and unlocking deeper spiritual truths. Even in the modern world, sacred geometry continues to inspire and captivate. Architects, designers, and artists draw upon these ancient principles to create spaces and works of art that resonate with the divine. From the intricate rose windows of Gothic cathedrals to the geometric patterns of Islamic art, sacred geometry is woven into the very fabric of human culture. These shapes are not just aesthetically pleasing, they speak to something deeper, something eternal. They remind us that we are part of a larger cosmic order, that we are connected to the universe in ways we may not fully understand. In the words of the famous architect Le Corbusier, geometry is the language of man, but perhaps it is more than that. Geometry, when viewed through the lens of the sacred, is the language of the cosmos itself. It is the way the universe communicates its truths, its mysteries, and its beauty to us. By studying and meditating upon these shapes, we can begin to unlock the universe's blueprint and tap into the divine wisdom that lies at the heart of creation. In the end, sacred geometry is not just a study of shapes. It is a way of seeing the world. It teaches us that there is order in the chaos, that there is meaning in the patterns of nature, and that the universe is not random but intentional. It invites us to look deeper, to see beyond the surface, and to recognize the divine in all things. Through the lens of sacred geometry, the mundane becomes sacred, the ordinary becomes extraordinary, and the human becomes divine.